Hello lovelies. So today I decided to make this video in my bedroom because I want to honor and acknowledge that there is a collective experience happening with Valentine's and with whatever that brings up for people, whether it's to deepen your connection with your partner, to find ways of honoring the relationships that you have in your life by reminding each other that you're loved and that you have love to offer. And for me during this time, it really stirs up ideas on how can relationships be even more embodied? How can relationships be even more expansive and access even more expressive parts of ourselves within these dynamics? And so one of the things I wanted to offer today was a little lesson that I've been kind of playing with around the great art of the mirror and how our relationships, I'll say, speak for myself. I've been married for almost 8 years now, and maybe 7.5. And in this marriage and in this journey of deepening into what is a divine mirror, what is a counterpart, a beloved that brings on that archetype of the beloved, of the partner, of the husband, of your worst nightmare. And in that I found that my relationship continues to strengthen itself as I look deeper into the patterns that have been holding me back from fully experiencing a beautiful, harmonious partnership. And the more I realize that, the more I realize that there's an inner work that's needed in this journey. And the more I take action towards that, and the more I empower myself to realize that there is a mirror effect happening between me and my partner. My insecurities come up, my strengths come up, the capacity to have these shadow parts of ourselves, or these parts. When I say shadow, I specifically mean parts of ourselves that require going into the darkness, into the unseen parts of ourselves to really greet them. Where those parts of ourselves that remain behind the scenes sometimes, but can play a pivotal role in who we are, who we can come to the table as, especially if we can use it consciously, especially if we can create that space for that in the relationship. So in this mirror dance, something I've noticed too is that by allowing myself to really listen to the requests of my partner, or the observations of my partner, or the blind sites or the blind spots that my partner may show to me, and in that listening also taking action especially if there's like almost this like rebellious ego lash out. And so I've been noticing that the more that I can feel like, oh, this is my ego lashing out when my partner, expresses an opinion or an insight that they have of me, then that's usually like, oh, this is my great mirror showing me that I'm not actually able to fully own up that I've been creating this pattern in my life through. And usually that ego can lash out in being defensive, trying to disprove this observation, trying to mediate, kind of find like a place that feels more comfortable. And so in that mediation process, I've noticed it's also that same place of, how can I make this feel better, right? How can I make these moments when relationships do actually get those kinks in them, or those misalignments in two individuals that are desiring something, or that are witnessing that there can be improvement. And so I've noticed that to really go into this shadow, to really go into these parts that require us to go into something almost I think of the shadow realm also as a place where other senses get to enliven themselves, where in the darkness, that's when your sense of hearing, your sense of touch, your sense of smell really go in overdrive, because your eyes aren't there to kind of tell you what's there, what's not there. And so it's a great place of bringing up these other sensations in ourselves. And so when going into the shadow of our relationships, what are these new senses that want to come up and experience what's really there? And how can we create that spaciousness for these parts of ourselves? So I think I'm going to leave it a little bit at that. And something that I've been doing, and I've been kind of doing it underneath the radar, and I've only been offering it, not that many people know I do this work, but I actually do couple sessions. And so I call it Naked Insight. And Naked Insight, for anyone that's done deep soul journeys with me, it's similar to that, but we actually go into the place, I call it the Temple of Divine Union. So we meet. So each soul of the couple, so it'll be a couple that comes to me. We meet in this Temple of Divine Union, and in there we get to do through spirit guides coming in, through ambassadors, through conversation and inquiring, and seeing what comes up. We get to actually have this dialogue and this healing journey between the souls. So it's kind of like having a relationship counseling session, but your conscious self isn't going through the stories, isn't relaying and possibly wasting a bunch of time, where your soul is able to just tell us, this is how I'm feeling, this is why I'm feeling it, this is what I see, this is our dynamic. It might even come up with like things that are between you that could actually revolve healing. Maybe there's past life stuff, or maybe things like that. So I just wanted to share that is something that I'm offering, and during this time of Valentine's, it's going to be, I call it the Naked Insight. So go onto my website. It's also a space for if there's an energetic closure that you're requiring or desiring between you and another individual. It's a really great way of integrating another level of this shift in your relationship. So if you're interested, please contact me, and I really look forward to however you get to experience the great mirror in your life, through your beloveds, your spouses, your partners, through even your close friends that see you and that you trust enough to witness yourself in this great mirror dance with one another. So blessings and sweetheart love to the union of all. Aloha.